Welcome back, Sober Family. I apologize. I'm 3 minutes late. I don't know what was going on. My live button was not working. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it's my phone or it was an Instagram thing. I'm not sure. But I'm sorry. I'm 3 minutes late. I'm very punctual. I love to be early, actually. If I'm on time, I'm late. But I don't know what happened there. But we're back. Welcome back, guys. Another episode of Recovery Talk brought to you by Pro Recovery Power. Shout out to my boy Marcos at Bless Savage Clothing. Go check him out. He's on Instagram. Get some recovery gear there. Hope you guys having a good Saturday. And just little announcement, if you guys don't know, I just got off of it. I just got done speaking at the Just for 24 event. If you guys want, you guys can join that now. I don't think it's too late. You can register. It's super just unreal. You know, there's so much different people from all over the globe that's coming together to speak, to share some experience, strength, and hope, what they're doing. I got to talk about Pro Recovery Power and where it came from, how it started, what it is, and just so like everybody, I can kind of clarify. Maybe some people don't know what we are. I'm in the middle of turning Pro Recovery Power into a nonprofit organization. So we are in the future, we will be a nonprofit organization that helps people that are sick and suffering due to the disease of addiction. That's what we are. We're that, and just so happened we got recovery clothing, and we also got a YouTube page. So I'm not necessarily just a recovery clothing brand. That's just part of it. All these things is tools to help me get in front of the person that's still sick and suffering. Along with my experiences being an alcoholic and addict, along with everything I learned in school, becoming a counselor and getting my degree and everything, those two things combined, you put me in front of the person sick and suffering, I will do what I was put on this earth to do. So that's my mission, that's my goal. I will accomplish it. I will not fall short, come short, abort, and quit. I will complete all the missions and the ministries of my life that God has given me while I'm here, and I'm sticking to it. So a little bit of announcement. So go to our website, please, prorecoverypower.com. If you're on your phone, if you're on your laptop, it'll say questionnaire down there at the bottom right-hand corner. Click on that, please. Fill that out, guys. That will help us move forward into turning PRP into a nonprofit organization. You guys can also donate there. All the monies, it goes right back into PRP to help fund the vision. Because, I'm not fooling myself either. I understand that in order for me to do what God has put me on this earth to do, I need the funds, I need the financial help. I know that. I cannot do this thing alone. So I would just ask for you guys, if you guys can, no worries if you cannot. I understand. It's all good. But if you guys want to, you guys can donate there. We're also on Venmo and Cash App. You guys can check out our website if you guys want to order clothes, or you can hit me up, however you guys want to do it. That's fine. Also on Wednesdays, guys, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have the Pro Recovery Power Hour. It's basically like a 12-step meeting. It's a non-denominational meeting. We welcome all fellowships, and all support groups. I'm a big believer in that. But our mouth is the valve that relieves the pressure from our hearts. I'm a big believer in that. So you can come check us out, join us there. See if you can identify with other people. Maybe you sober curious. Maybe you Google, do I have a drinking problem, or something along those lines. You guys are welcome to come. This thing is open to anybody that's struggling with addiction, period. You don't have to be addicted to drugs and alcohol. It could be any addiction. You're welcome to come. No problem. So I think that's all the announcements. Okay. Today, right now, I got my friend Morgan coming on. She's the sober unicorn. I'm really excited to get her in here for you guys to hear her story. Ladies, gentlemen, buckle you guys' seatbelts. I'm gonna get her in there right now. Where is she? There you are. Okay, here we go. Oh, there she is. Oh, you're showing off your shirt first.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the shirt, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the support, girl.
Yeah,
right
of course.
On. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. I'm doing good. I don't know what happened there. I was like going live and like it wasn't working. I was like, oh, what's going on? Like close the app. I
Yeah, you
restarted it.
called me and you're like, I'm gonna turn my phone off and on, and then I'll call you
Yeah.
back. I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, I don't know what's going on here. Like this never ever has happened to me. So I was like, let me turn my phone off and turn it on because I know the internet works because I just went live like a couple
Yeah.
times before this, you know. But thank you, thank you, thank you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time out, and it seems like you're getting a little bit more comfortable doing these lives now. Now you got the first one out of the way. It's like a piece
Well,
of cake.
okay, it was funny because the first one I did was with Joe and Jeff in Bali Blue, and
Yeah.
there was in the middle of it there was like 300 something people, and at the end of it there was like 610 people,
Yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
wasn't like really that nervous. And
Mhm.
so I was telling Johnny that, and he was like, yeah, but I mean, this one you're sharing your story is just you, and I'm like, okay, like way to make me feel like more nervous.
Yeah, and honestly, like you can blink your eyes, it's gonna be done already. It's usually how it always goes for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time. It's so good to actually like see you and talk to you now. You
Yeah,
know.
instead of just
Oh,
messaging or phone calls.
yeah,
And
you know what I mean. Hey, that one post that you posted about how meet your internet friends or whatever. Oh, that was so good.
yeah, July. Gonna celebrate my
Yeah.
5 years.
I know, yeah, I cannot wait to meet you. And it's so cool because of the pandemic, everything went on online and made so much new friends on social media. And I have become so close to so many of them. But like they're in other states or they're in other countries too, some of them.
Yeah.
And I mean I would love to do that. Just go jump on a plane, go visit every single person,
Or just
and
have like a
chop it up.
huge party where like everyone can come.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I'm
that would be
like
cool.
this virtual thing. It's a good substitute, but it will never replace live
Yeah.
human interaction.
Yeah.
It just will not. So, but hey, thank you again. Before we get started, you get into your story. I just wanted to ask you a few questions. The first one is, how long have you been sober?
I've been sober since July 26, 2016.
All right. Okay. And where are you from?
I'm from Durango, Colorado.
All right.
I was born and raised here.
Okay, cool. And then the last question before you get into your story is, what was your choice in drink and or drug?
Alcohol. It
Okay.
was all alcohol. I mean, I dabbled in like Coke and Molly, but that was
Uh-huh.
more like concerts. I never really like sought it out, and
Right.
it would always went back to alcohol.
Okay. Hey, Haley. She's saying, what's up?
Hey, Haley.
Okay, girl. Well, at this time, I give you the floor to tell us your story.
Okay.
Mhm.
My name is Morgan. I'm an
Mhm.
alcoholic, and well, just to start off with my childhood, I actually had a really good childhood. My mom and dad, they were great parents. I have two little brothers. We have a huge family. My mom has 4 sisters, 2 brothers. And so I just always grew up in like just so many cousins and like birthday parties. And
Hmm.
I never really had any trauma. And kind of funny thing, I was looking at Jessica Landon's
Mhm.
TED Talk, her, what is it, the ACE?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Adverse Childhood Events. I think
Yeah.
that's
She's
the
one of
ACE.
she's part of the sober mom squad.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was watching it, and it was just kind of ironic because I just did a paper on the ACE and like the childhood trauma, and I
Mhm.
scored a 0 on it. And we had to write a paper on if our ACE scores represent who we are today. And I wrote about how like it was weird that my childhood was great, but my I became this like huge alcoholic. And
Mhm.
so childhood trauma just wasn't part of my story. And so when I hear other people, I'm just like blown away because I
Mhm.
can't relate to them, but
Mhm.
I feel for them.
Mhm.
But so going forward, my drinking started when I was 14. That was when my uncle passed away, and I've written about him before, and he was like a second dad to me. He was kind of more of a dad than my actual dad was at times. So I took it hard. I started drinking with my two cousins that night. We were drinking vodka, and vodka was my drink.
Yeah, me too.
And after that, that's how I knew how to deal with trauma. And so let's see. Oh, and during that year also, my parents got a divorce a few months later. And then my dad ended up, this is like weird. My dad ended up seeing my aunt, who's my mom's little sister. So you get my uncle dying, my parents getting divorced, my dad hooking up with my aunt, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And, you know, I'm 14, I'm young, and I didn't know how to handle any of this. I wasn't in therapy, I wasn't in anything. So it was weird, and I didn't know how to deal. So let's see, let's fast forward to 16. That was my junior year, and I started an eating disorder. I don't think it was more of the weight. It was more of not knowing how to deal with all this stuff, because it was continuing with the whole divorce and everything. And so I've been struggling with the eating disorder this whole, you know, over 10 years now. And actually, I'm in recovery, about 1.5 years in recovery from it. But
all right.
so that's like a big part of my story too, is, you know, and they say that alcoholism and eating disorders go like hand in hand too. And then, so let's see, 17, I go to Denver for college, and I was a weird drunk because I could party, but I could still get good grades. Like,
wow.
Yeah, for a good 3 years. And then my junior year of college, I'm 19, I get my first DUI. And it was a 3.4 BAC.
Whoa.
And I just remember, you know, going back and forth to court, and this judge, he told me to come up to the podium. And so I came up, he turned off his speakers, and he gave me this chart of like what a normal person, that chart of like the drinking, how much you get drunk
right. Okay.
each hour. And he was like, he's like, how much do you weigh? I think I weighed like 95 pounds during that time. I was little. And he was like, well, I'm just really concerned. Like, you're so young. This is a huge BAC. And you were driving for like, I think I drove for like 3 miles. And he did that to me twice. And my lawyer said that she's never seen him do that. So today, like, even though I still continue to drink, I still want to find that judge and just say, like, thank you for caring about me. Like, thank you for making that effort to, like, want to, you know, say something.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to try and find him one of these days. Like, whenever I'm in Denver, go find him and thank him. So the year after that, when I was 20, that's when I started to really feel the effects. I started to feel the DTs, the throwing up that bile, but you know, I didn't want to tell my friends because, you know, I'm in Denver going to college, no family up there, just friends. And I mean, it's embarrassing, you know, you don't want to say like, hey, I think I have a problem. So I just kind of kept it to myself. And this has nothing to do with alcohol, but this part's kind of like a freak accident. You know, when you get those little hangnails?
Oh yeah.
So
it's so funny. I'm like peeling one right now as you're talking.
Okay. So I had one, and they don't know what happened or what it was, but some like bacteria got into it. And it was like internal, and it was in my thumb, and it started like eating away it was like a flesh eating like virus. And they thought it was staph, but it wasn't staph. It was just like, I don't know, my hand or my thumb turned it was white, and then it turned black, and it was just like eating it away, and it was scary. And so I just remember there was a red line going all the way up right here.
Oh wow.
And the doctor said if I didn't go in if I didn't go in any sooner, it could have went to my heart. Oh. And so I just remember I was at a Swedish hospital up in Denver,
Mm-hmm.
and the doctor, he numbed my thumb. He was just like cutting off all this flesh. I could like, I could hear it. I could see my bone. Like it was
Oh,
fucking gross. And
oh.
but so there was like two doctors trying to figure out what to do,
Mm-hmm.
and they're talking about like a skin graft or maybe another surgery. But now he's my friend now, but his name is Johnny. He
Mm-hmm.
comes in, he's working for this company called ACell, and it's like the skin cells. And so they put this like white powder into my thumb,
Mm-hmm.
and it grew back my my skin and my fingerprints. And like, I don't know if you can really see very well.
Oh
They're
yeah.
kind of different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
so it's like it's like all scarred, but you can still see my fingerprints. Like it grew back. And it was
wow.
this new science back then, and I was like I was one of their like little guinea pigs. And, but yeah, so that was weird too, because just all this stuff was happening. And oh, so like a few months later, I'm still drinking at this time and
Mm-hmm.
going through all those doctor's visits. And at this point, it was my last semester at Metro up in Denver. And I don't know why I did this, but I was taking 6 classes, 17 credits. And I just couldn't keep up with this one class. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a type of like perfectionist with school. Like I love school.
I know
And
you love grammar.
it got to me. And oh yeah, I reminded you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I was just drinking, and one night, I don't remember like any of this night really. I just remember being in the cab, but that's all. I think we went to like this gay bar, strip club. I'm not really sure, but it was me and like 3 other friends, and we're at whatever bar it was. We went back to their house, and my friend Jake and I guess we were just like making out on his car, and we had fallen, and he like fell on top of me.
Okay.
And I guess he got up, and I was just laying there, and I guess he turned me over, and there was just like blood everywhere, and like he was freaking out. They called the ambulance, and what happened was I fell on a rebar.
Oh,
and
dang.
That's what happened in my eye. It like this eye. It
Like
tore
you
my
fell
eyelid.
sideways?
What?
You fell like sideways, kind of?
Sideways?
Like you fell down on your face,
Oh, I thought
kind
you
of?
meant me to go sideways. I was like,
Oh, no.
yeah, no, I don't know. I think I just felt like, I don't know, maybe at an angle.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure, but I fell on it, and like I said, I don't remember any of this, but
Yeah.
the next day I had my first surgery to get the eyelid repaired because it was like falling off. And then I think it was like a week later, I had another surgery to repair the damaged nerves. And that's why it's like a little droopy. And anyone that knows me pretty well, obviously, is my biggest insecurity. And which is funny, Alika, remember when I told you I was going to do my live in my car with my sunglasses?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, like I would have been more comfortable. Also, like, this is part of the process, like stepping on a comfort zone. Like, you guys know what I look like anyways, so like, why am I so like scared of it? Like, I don't.
And honestly, that's very brave of you, and that's very encouraging for like other women or even men that struggle with some sort of insecurity. Your transparency, your vulnerability, in my opinion, for me, is very inspiring. So I guarantee it'll inspire somebody else to kind of open up about some sort of insecurity they may have. Look at that Johnny down there. He's like, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom, bam, bam, bam.
fucking Johnny.
Yeah.
Probably wants me to cry too.
Yeah.
Because I hate crying. And he's always like, Morgan, like, crying is so healing. Like, I love when you cry. But so yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys because I've written about my eye, and like clearly I still have work to do, but I think talking to you right now is just, it's a little baby step to like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just to be comfortable with like who I am. And, yeah, so that happened and I had to move. Okay. So my eye accident happened. I moved back to Durango because I just couldn't afford it. I mean, the accident, you know, I had to be with my family. And that is when I really understood depression. Like I thought I was kind of depressed when I was 14, going through like my uncle's death and everything. But this was like, I was done. Like, last night actually at Teen Falls Live, Alyssa, I think that's her name.
Alyssa, yeah.
Yes, her share, tell her like thank you for her share. Yeah. But she said something and I wrote it down and she said, you know, the more trauma that she got into, the more drugs or the more using she did. And that's what happened with me. Like all this trauma that happened, you would have thought that, you know, maybe at some point I would have stopped, but no, I kept going. And I didn't care. Like I didn't care if I woke up. Like that's how like sad I was. I never thought about suicide. I never thought about like having a plan, but I didn't care. And so I just kept drinking and drinking. So comes down to 22. I have my first seizure and my little brother sees me. And it was weird because he told me this like a year later after it all had happened. And he said that he was in his room, like watching TV or whatever, and he heard me scream. And I guess like he's never heard like that kind of scream before. So he comes into my bathroom and I'm like seizing and he doesn't know what to do, but so I'm 22, he's 18. He puts like a sock in my mouth and he runs down the driveway. My other uncle, Uncle Troy, he comes down, he stops him, they come, like the ambulance comes. And after that, they put me in an induced coma. And so I was in my first induced coma for 2 weeks. And so, you know, coming out of that, everyone's telling me like what happened and everything. And that's when I got diagnosed also with pancreatitis. So that was like, you know, boom, all that happened. And so I recover, I go home, and my mom, she threatens me with papers from the court. And so she's telling me that I can either go to rehab on my own or she'll force me to go because I'm living in her house. And I don't really know what it's called, but I guess you can like force someone like from their, if their safety is involved or endangered, I mean. So go to my first rehab in Manitou Springs, and I'm only there for, actually all my rehabs are a month. So from September to October. And the reason why I went to this rehab, because I was so against AA. I was like, you know, fuck God, fuck all this. And this rehab it was like a holistic rehab. It was like yoga, we ate really good, we went on hikes, and like it was vacation kind of. I mean, I got something out of it, but I also relapsed within like 3 days. You know, I just wasn't ready. And a month later, I break my hip. And, I mean, there's more. Just wait. So it's like, it's weird because I'm at my boyfriend at the time, and I'm just sitting on this rocking chair, and I kind of like fall, like, I don't know, like that much. I don't know. It's like 2 feet. I fall and I hear this crack and I'm like in shock. And he was like, Morgan, because we were going to go to the liquor store actually. He was like, Morgan, get up. And I was like, I can't move. He's like, Morgan, stop fucking around. I was like, seriously, Alan, I can't fucking move. And I see my leg, and it's just like getting bigger and bigger. So I broke my hip. I fractured my femur. Wow. And the doctor said that my bones were so brittle. They were of like a 65-year-old, and I was 22 at the time. Whoa. And you know, from the eating disorder, the drinking, I was weak. I was really little. My hair was really brittle, like just I was starting to get yellow too during that time, and my cheeks were really puffy. I look at pictures and I hate it. Like, it's just really sad because like my body's really skinny, but my cheeks are like chipmunk cheeks from the failing liver. And so let's see, that happened I think in February, and then a month later go to another rehab. That one was in Pueblo, Colorado. And that one was tough because it was a dual diagnosis one, and I wasn't used to I was used to being around, I guess, like other addicts and alcoholics, but I wasn't used to being around people with mental disorders. And I remember like there was like a few like schizophrenic kids there, and bipolar, and that was my first time. And so like I'm trying to get sober, and just it was a weird like hospital vibe, and I hated it. I was literally planning my relapse in that rehab. Like I knew what liquor store I was gonna go to. I knew exactly what bottle I was gonna get, and like I knew my plan. So clearly it was just gonna get worse from there. And then let's see. At that same guy's house, I was still with him. My mom didn't really want much to do with me, so I was living with him and his family, and I had my second seizure there. Same thing. He tells me that he was in the other room and he hears this scream, and I'm on the floor and seizing. And this one I actually remember. It was really weird because I woke up and I was on his bed, and there was him, his mom, and like 5 or 6 paramedics. And I'm just like, what's going on? And they told me what happened. And they're like, well, can you walk upstairs and we'll take you to the hospital? And I'm like, yeah, I got it. I'm fine. So I grab all my stuff. I apparently can't carry anything anymore. So the guy next to me was like, one of the paramedics was helping me up. And they said that I had another seizure in the way to the hospital. Also, I was in another coma after this, and they didn't put me in a coma right away. I guess I was still coherent enough, but I was like seeing stuff. I was my mom told me I was in the bed, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like trying to grab stuff. I was like, "Mom, I'm grabbing these blueberries." Like, my blueberries. And then I saw a little girl and her mom, and this creeped my mom out. So I guess my mom and I were talking about something, and I was like, "Mom, why are they in my room again?" And she was like, "No one's here, Morgan." I was like, "Yeah, the little girl and the mom's right behind you." And my mom was right by a wall, so I don't know what the hell I was seeing. And she was like, but yeah, and so I guess I saw a little boy. I don't know. I just kept seeing people, and then I think when it started to get worse, they put me in a induced coma.
Okay.
So that was February, and then finally, I'm trying to think.
And how old were you? How old were you when that last time they put you in a coma? Just not.
23.
Oh, man, you're still 23. So young. Wow.
Okay, yeah. So go second rehab, and then so finally I go to my third rehab, and this story is a little hard to tell just because, I mean, I'll just tell it anyways. But so the reason, and this is actually a question that I told you, but I'm going to share it now. The reason why I was the one that decided to go to my third rehab. And the reason I decided was, I mean, I was drinking. I didn't care. You know, same thing. Depression got worse. But one night, my mom came into my room, and I was drunk, but I remember all this. And she just, like, had tears down her eyes. And I was like, I just asked her what was wrong. And she said, you know, Morgan, like, I love you. I don't know what to do anymore. I want you to write your will. I want you to decide where you want your money to go to, where you want to be, where you want your ashes spread. And I think that was it. And just write your will and where all your other stuff, where you want everything to go. I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, I've done everything I can. I just don't know what else to do. And then she just closed the door. Mm-hmm. I think I had like this much of vodka left, and I was just crying. I fucking chugged that. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time that I had prayed to my creator. Mm-hmm. And it had been 10 years. So, and I just remember saying, like, I can't do this anymore. And like, I need help. So I kind of stumbled into her room, and I felt like a little kid. I literally like ran into her arms. Mm-hmm. And sorry, I haven't told this in a while.
It's okay. It's okay. Take your time. Johnny's got some crying emojis he putting there already. It's all good, girl.
So I told her, I was like, send me away. I was like, I need to go far away. And so she got on the phone with some lady that was a rehab like coordinator. And I don't know how she was in contact with her, but it felt like she had her on speed dial or something. Mm-hmm. But she called her, and the lady told me that I had two choices. And she gave us the website for both of the rehab. So my mom and I were looking at them while still on the phone with this lady. Mm-hmm. And there was one in Texas and in Mississippi. Mm-hmm. And this is like kind of the funny part. So like I'm all drunk, you know, and just trying to decide what other rehab to go to. So as we're looking at these rehabs, finally I'm like, you know what? Fuck Texas. I'll go to Mississippi. Like that's how I'm sorry for anyone like from Texas. It was just because I was drunk. But that's how I decided that I was going to Mississippi. So I went to it was called Turning Point. That was a rehab in South Haven, Mississippi. And that was a weird one. Different world down there. But I don't know. I was just ready. And I took it seriously. And I think I'm the only one from my little group that went there around the same time. I think I'm the only one that's still sober. Wow. I know there is another girl, but she had relapsed, but she's sober now. So she has a little bit less time than me. But I just know everyone had not stayed after that one. Yeah. But so I've been sober since July 26, 2016, and it was kind of cool though, because right after I got off the plane coming home, I went to my first real AA meeting, got my chip, and stayed in AA. Mm-hmm. So, and then one thing also, I just wanted so this is in sobriety though. Mm-hmm. In 2017, I was 7 months, in October, 7 months sober. And I got pancreatitis again.
Oh, wow.
So my the doctors here in Durango like couldn't figure what was wrong with me. And so they sent me to Denver, and the surgeon in Denver said that I had pancreatitis like all along. It was just a matter of time for it to come out. And so I had a Whipple surgery. They cut me open from here all the way to my belly button, took out my pancreas, cut off some of the pancreas, put me all back together. And so that was a crazy one too. I was like 85 pounds after that surgery, had to rebuild up all that weight. And going back to the eating disorder, so when I first got sober, I worked really hard on it, and I was doing really good. And then that pancreatitis kind of fucked me up because I was sick, but I wasn't intentionally throwing up. I was just sick all the time, so it kind of became like a habit again. And now, or I guess a little over 500 days, in recovery for it. So I did the 12 steps on it, honestly. I just did it on my own. And Yeah, I was tired, so I just had to
Yeah.
do something about it.
You know, it's so funny that you said that because a lot of people think 12 steps is only related to drugs and alcohol, but you can literally 12 step anything. You know, like I know guys that 12 step anger. You know, you can 12 step pretty much anything. You know, but
Yeah.
wow, 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 amazing story. It's just I get so the fire in me just heats up more and more when I hear stories like yours. I mean, especially like that. So that last surgery, you were sober when you did it. You had that surgery already, huh?
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
Whipple surgery. Oh, and then
yeah.
I just got last year I just got thyroid cancer, and they did a
Whoa.
total. I'm like, oh yeah, this one. They did a total thyroidectomy, and like you can see that
Oh
little
yeah,
scar right there.
man, you a warrior, girl. Oh oh. I mean, like two comas, like you fall in and you hit in your eye, and you know what I mean? The depression, the alcoholism, the eating disorder. I mean, man, the odds was stacked against you,
Yeah,
but
everything.
but like here you are today, in recovery, sober. Almost what, 5 years?
Almost 5. Yeah.
Almost five, right? Yeah. I mean, that's so encouraging and inspiring, man. Even for somebody like me. I mean, it's just I love hearing these things. That's why I really look forward to hearing people's stories and doing the lives, and because it helps me as well. It's literally like being in a meeting, because all you need is two people to have a meeting, really,
Yeah,
technically.
exactly.
So it's just like being in the meeting, man, like a big like big speaker meeting, basically, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was crazy. Like, so last night, I'm trying to think like what I want to talk about, and I didn't want to write stuff out because I think that's not really um, personable. I don't want to
uh-huh.
like read from like a piece of paper. And
Right.
so I just did a little timeline for myself so I wouldn't forget. Because sometimes I forget what happened first. Like I can't remember. I mean, this sounds kind of sad, but I can't remember if I had the coma first or the rehab, or did I have this first?
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
like there's a lot that happens so
Yeah.
short time. And so I
Yeah.
called my mom and I asked her because I was confused on like 3 little details, and she remembered, so she helped me. But
Yeah.
I was looking at my timeline and I just started crying because I haven't looked at this whole 10 years in so
Mm-hmm.
long. And she was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, like I've been through so much and I'm still here. And
Mm-hmm.
she was like, exactly, like for a reason. Because my
Yeah.
she's a normie, but she's a huge advocate for like recovery, and
Yeah.
she's amazing.
Yeah.
So it was just a shock to remember all this stuff because it's been so
Mm-hmm.
long.
Yeah, you you said something there toward the end of your share, and you said that I was ready. You said I was ready. You know, being working in this field, being in recovery myself, something I know is that we cannot argue somebody into recovery. We cannot force somebody into recovery. A lot of people, especially normies, really, they're typically the people who I hear say this, and it's like, why don't you just stop? You don't have strong enough willpower.
Yeah.
Honestly, it has nothing to do. This is what I found out. It has nothing to do with if I have the willpower or not. It all has all to do with, am I ready or not? That's it. That's
Yeah.
the bottom line. But I mean, oh my gosh, like I want you to tell this story one more time already. It's just so inspiring. And like you did a really good job. I'm sure that timeline, helped you to do it, man. But oh man, this is, you got such a powerful story to tell.
Thank you.
I wish you were physically here in California, because when I go speak, like I would like to take like a female with me, so boy girl kind of thing, and just blow some people away, man. Like because like Alyssa last night in her story talking about how that girl was up there on the stage when she was in treatment, and she had all the
Oh
nice clothes
yeah.
and this and that, and she talked about how she was shooting dope behind a dumpster, and she
And
was in
she's
the
like, I can
like,
do it.
yeah, she was like,
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing. Like, what? Like, man, wow, I can do this too then. There's so much hope. Like, I listened to your story, like hope, so much hope, hope, hope. Because, I mean, it wasn't just alcoholism was that wasn't just it. I mean, there was more to it that you had to fight against, and obstacles and challenges to overcome. It wasn't just I gotta stop drinking. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
there's so much more things that you had to persevere and push through. You know, man, like, you know, it's just so amazing and encouraging for me, anyways. I mean, all these hearts just keep going up, you know, on the
I know,
screen.
I see it.
You know, I mean, like, people just, I mean, I love your story, man. I mean, it's just, I'm so happy that you know, I saw you live you know, Joe, and who else was there? Um,
Jeff,
Jeff, and Bali Blue.
Molly Blue. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following for a while too. But, like, you know, and then I seen you, and then I guys
Oh,
went live, and I
yeah,
was
that
like,
was
oh,
me.
Morgan, let's do it. You know,
Oh
and
yeah, and I was like, and it was
because, you
funny
know,
because I didn't
like,
hesitate. I was like, okay, like when you asked me
yeah, I
I
know. I was
wanted
like,
to,
hey, I gotta
yeah,
catch her while she's hot. But you know what? Like, it's truly amazing. Like, I've done a lot of podcasts. Like, I'm doing one right after this with Willie. Willie, I just seen him. He's on it from the Other Side of Hell podcast. So,
hmm
like, other people that I know that I've done podcasts in the past, like, I think, I mean, you're a big threat to this disease of addiction. Your story, oh my gosh, like, these people, I'll refer you to them so you can go tell your story on their platform, because in my opinion, people need to hear your story that's struggling right now. You know, I mean, even like people who are not addicts, not alcoholic, it's just so inspiring, your story, you know. Like, even my wife, I know we're going to talk about this after this, you know, because I seen her commenting in this
I did.
as
I
we
think
went
I saw a
along,
part.
you know. And you know, it's so amazing though. But I'm sorry, I could be talking this whole thing away. But, like, as we start to wind down and wrap up, I'm going to ask you some questions. um, this may be an obvious question, but the first one is, what made you decide to get sober?
So kind of like what I was talking about with being tired and just being
Mhm.
done, and you know, it didn't matter all these traumas, all these accidents, all these freaking surgeries. Like it
Mhm.
didn't matter anymore, and just having my mom just so defeated and hurt because she's my best friend. Like I love my mom so much, and even when I used to drink, we've always been really close. Like I live in Durango now. Like I'm with around all my family.
Mhm.
I live 20 minutes away from her, and I
Mhm.
still will text her, let her know I'm home, and like she'll still text me good
Mhm.
morning. Like
Yeah.
I cherish that because
Yeah.
I know there's not a lot of or there's just not a lot. I just know there's daughters that don't have that relationship, and
Yes.
so yeah, just knowing that she was about to you know, say goodbye to her daughter just
Mhm.
like broke my fucking heart because my mom's had an alcoholic dad. Her brother, obviously, my uncle died from alcoholism. My
Mm.
dad's an alcoholic, so she's been around it. She
Yeah.
knows alcohol, you know,
Yeah.
or she knows about alcohol. I'll
Right.
say that.
I,
So
I
I just
remember. Oh, go
couldn't do
ahead.
that
Sorry.
to her.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when we spoke the other day. Like, in regards to this question, how, you know, you told me, like, your mom basically just accepted that you're gonna die, basically, and,
Yeah,
like, that was just like the light bulb went on, apparently, you know, kind of thing.
yeah.
And that's just, I mean, I can only imagine what that, I mean, would felt like if my mom or my dad told me that, you know. I don't know what kind of effect it would have had on me, but I guarantee it would have broke my heart for sure, you know. Wow.
And I knew she wasn't, just one more thing, like I knew she wasn't threatening me like she did with those rehabs.
Right.
Like I
Hmm.
knew she was like, serious. And that's why I was like, okay, so like this is real. Okay,
Hmm.
like here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Next question. So, you kind of answered this one though, but I'll ask you anyway. So were you raised around alcohol?
Yes.
Hmm.
Like I said, you know, my uncle, my dad, and my dad's actually in recovery now. He
Mm.
is a little over 2 years sober.
All right.
So my dad and I don't really have the best relationship. I mean, it's been rocky
Mm-hmm.
over the last, well, since I've been 14.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, I'm so proud of him for getting sober. So yeah, growing up, my dad was a big beer drinker.
Mm-hmm.
He was never into hard alcohol, like I was, and all my older cousins are alcoholics, and all of them are sober besides one.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to see them drink like a lot.
Yeah.
But I also, as an adult, I've got to see them get sober too. And my cousin Randolph, him and I, we were good drinking buddies. Like we'd go to the bars, we'd be each other's wingman, woman, whatever. But he got sober almost exactly, 5 months before I did. So it's just kind of cool because we're exactly 5 years. He's 5 years older than I am. So we kind of grew up with that drinking age. He got sober, I got sober, and now we're both.
That's so awesome. You know, as you're sharing this, I'm thinking, man, you should make a shirt that says, addiction runs in my family, but so does recovery. You know, that's kind of seems like what's going on in your family right now. That's awesome, man. That's great. Because typically, I personally have never met somebody or went live with somebody that, like, you know, my family is alcoholics, but they're in recovery. Like, I don't really hear that too often. Like, you know,
oh really?
You're probably one of the first people that I've heard, really. Yeah, I think you're one of the very few that I've heard that has said that. Like, you know, my cousins, my mom, my dad is, you know, alcoholic, but they're in recovery too now. They're sober and stuff. So, wow.
But the interesting thing is none of them are doing AA or any 12-step. They all just stopped drinking on their own. And I can't really speak for them. I don't know why they did or how they did it. I just know that they're not in the rooms. And so I think it's kind of cool because that's how I got sober, was in AA and doing the steps, the sponsor, you know, all the what you do. And a lot of my family didn't. So I love hearing how they got sober or their stories, because we have similar paths, but we have different ways of how we got sober. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, man. All right. And then the next question is, what's your favorite thing to do since you've been sober, besides get tattoos?
Right? Oh my God, this one's peeling. It's so bright. I don't want to show you. It's so bright. It's peeling like a peely. My favorite thing, I'm sure if you've been following me, you probably figured this out, is my drives to the mountains. Like, there's something about, I mean, I love going with my friend Drew, but being alone, bumping your music, or in silence, it depends what mood I'm in, and just driving. And I go up there and I just can sit by myself with my creator and pray or do nothing. Like, I don't know. I get to do whatever I want. And that's what saved me in sobriety. And that's definitely what saved me in this pandemic too, because not being able to be in those mountains would have been way more depressing. And so definitely those drives.
Yeah, you know, because I'm from, you know, Hawaii, and like I love the nature, the scenery there. So I totally can relate to what you're saying, man. That's great. Okay, next question is, I like this one. I really like this question. So, what is your why? What keeps you moving forward after the surgery, the alcoholism, the what do you call seizures, all this stuff? What keeps you moving forward?
I think the biggest thing that keeps me moving forward is like my fight, my passion, because I've had to fight, like you talk about all the time. And I mean, obviously, like these seizures and these comas, and like, I just never gave up, even though I was tired. And there was some days that I didn't care if I woke up, but when I woke up, I kept fighting, you know, like there was still something in me, and I'm feisty as fuck. Like when I used to drink, anyone that used to drink with me, like I was just a shit talker, and I was just feisty, and I'm still a little feisty now, but so yeah, there's always this fight within me, and then the passion, because I want to help others. Like I want to help people that have been through what I've been through, and I'm working on towards being a counselor in a rehab right now.
Nice.
Well, first I need to graduate, and then I'm going to get my CAC and everything like that. But, you know, that's always been a big passion of mine. So the fight and the passion.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Let's see. Okay, next question. did your family play an intricate role in your sobriety?
Yes. Like I talked about my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was always there, as well as my stepdad. And those two, they're like the power couple. Like they've been through shit with me, my brother. Like they've been through a lot, but they still are together. They're still a team, and they never gave up on me. And it was funny because I asked my mom this question, and she's like, "Well, I kind of gave up on you that one time when I didn't pick you up from detox." And I was like, "Mom, that's not giving up on me. That's being like tired of my shit." I was like, "I would have done the same thing. Like, you're fine." I was like, "I'm talking more about like giving up on me, as in like kicking me out, not wanting anything to do with me. Like, sure, she did enable me. I will say that. But as far as all the accidents and hospital visits, she was always there. And even if she had to go from like Durango to Denver, she was always there.
Wow.
So,
I gotta meet your mom one day, man. You know.
yeah,
Wow,
maybe I'll
amazing
fly her
woman.
out to Cali and like we'll hang out.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
of
There we
it.
go. Yeah. Okay, and then this is the last question. Actually, I'm gonna ask you. So, what's something you would say to a newcomer or somebody that's trying to get sober right now? What could you offer them?
I always say this. I just say, just don't give up. I mean, life is really hard, and the biggest thing that I never, okay, no, I used to say this. I used to say I got it or I got this, but I kept relapsing. I kept going to rehab. So, no, I don't got it. I don't have this right away. I think as you get a little bit farther into your recovery, then yeah, you do got this. You know what to do. But just keep pushing and keep going, because sobriety is so much worth it. Like, believe me.
Yeah, I believe you. You literally are the poster girl for perseverance and hope. Just listening to you, those are the words that come to my mind. Like, I mean, addicts, alcoholics, we're because of our experiences and the hardships and the self inflicting pains, like we become very resilient. Through all of that suffering, and like
Yeah.
and then we get into recovery, we still got that, and we still can,
Yeah, like it
you
never
know,
went away.
yeah, it never went away. Like, but like it's we're channeling it in more healthy areas now, that can maybe help benefit us, our family, somebody else, things like that. But yeah, you definitely a fighter, man. You definitely a fighter. You definitely here for a reason. I can see that, and I really want to just tell you that, it took a lot of courage to talk about your eye, because you talk about how that's, something that you still struggle with and everything. And I mean, I think that was a big step. I know you talk about little baby step, but I believe personally, talking about our insecurities, like that's a huge step, because like there's anybody can watch this after I post it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, it's very encouraging, like especially with the women. I'm sure women can relate and identify with you more than men can, but I can identify with everything you just said, me personally. But it is so true, man. Like you just like this beacon of hope and perseverance. Like every time, like when I feel like giving up, I'm gonna think about you. I'm gonna think about things that you've gone through, and that will help push me. If I need it, to be honest, because it's like, man, like I never had any surgeries my entire life. All the crazy stuff I've done, I've never broken any bone. I got a lot of bumps and
That's
bruises and
good.
stuff.
Damn.
I've never broken bones, or I've never been to the hospital, um, because I got hurt, I got injured, car accident. And I mean, I drove drunk every time. I've never like not driven drunk ever in my life. I'll always like black out, or just got like a good buzz, or I'm totally drunk. I mean, I'll go through roadblocks drunk, like, and I'm like hanging out of my car talking to the
You're like,
cops.
I'm good.
Yeah, no, but the crazy thing is, the cops will go, "Oh, okay," and they let me go. It was amazing. Like, I don't know, man. Like, God just kind of like moved me out of the way of all these bullets, had my name on it, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I want to thank you again for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
And
hey, John, look, Johnny Gio's still here, man. He really loved it
thanks.
too. I know, yeah. But I can't wait. I can't wait to meet you down here in July.
Yeah, I am
Um,
so excited. I can't wait.
yeah, and like you'll be here for what, a week or?
Yeah, I'm planning on a week.
Okay, cool. We can all go to next meeting, Team 12. On Friday
Yeah,
night.
that's what Nick and I were talking about too.
Oh, perfect.
So
Yeah, cool.
Friday night.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you again so much, Morgan. I really appreciate you being here. And just so you guys know, I'm sure you guys loved her story like I did. So this is not the end of it. She will be back live with me. I'm gonna announce it. It's gonna be next month though. It's gonna be me, her, Johnny Gio. Johnny's on here, and your girl Haley,
Haley.
Recovery Baddie. We're all
Yep.
gonna be live together. So stay tuned for that one. That's happening toward the end of next month. I cannot read my calendar from where I'm at right now. So I'll keep you guys posted though on the exact date. But thank you again, Morgan.
Yeah, thank you so
Congratulations.
much. I'm really
Yeah,
glad
I
that
just
I said yes, and I'm just I feel so much better now. Just
yeah,
letting
like
that
your
out loud.
story really just
Yeah,
it just
like,
made my day. Like I honestly will probably cry after this. We go after the
and
because I can feel it. I can feel it in me.
I
Just
am glad I did cry, and
J-
that
Johnny's really
Johnny's really
happy you
excited
cried
too.
too.
So,
Oh
but
man,
yeah,
but
thank you.
thank you again, man. I really appreciate it. But I'll keep in touch with you for sure.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Have a
you
good
have a
day.
good day. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay, well, that was Morgan's unbelievably incredible story. My goodness. I really am gonna cry after this. So, if you have a story to tell, please reach out to me and we can make that happen. The world needs to hear your story. And nobody is the best. Like, we got to be the best at telling our own stories. Nobody can tell our stories for us, kind of thing. But if you guys do, man, you guys got a story to tell, please reach out to me. I would love to have you on here and give you this platform for you to share it, to carry the message to somebody else that's still sick and suffering, somebody's still struggling. So thank you guys so much for sticking around, the 11 people that's still here. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys again next week, Saturday. Take care.